everyone. Today is still a quick question and answer. Let's see which one is the shortcomings or weaknesses you should get rid of. There are 6 sets of cards in total. 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to choose the one you most want to choose. There's no reference today. Then if the little friends who can't choose can pause first, we are going to start editing next. Words from the first group. You're a rather gluttonous person, liking to give as much as you receive. That's it. You might be a little bit bad, a little bit, how should I put it? Try to open your mind as much as possible, because when making decisions, thinking too much about the future can increase your troubles. Many things can be foreseen and will have similar consequences.
Okay, goodbye.
To go further, you need to do things you can't usually do. You, who are working with the mentality of every bit of effort will yield a bit of result, will definitely benefit. The only tiny drawback is you might be a bit indecisive. The advice to you is that when it's almost over, make a decision. And going just slightly. Sometimes it's good to trust your first instincts. Okay, let's look at the second group next.
Okay.
You're a bit idealistic. To be honest, everyone has a bit of this thing now. It's not about whether it's impetuous or not, but it's a good thing. We didn't see it before and didn't know it. Now we see it and know it. So we really want this good thing. The advice I give to you is first, you can't be too greedy. You just have to be a little bit, just a bit. You need to set a goal that you most want to achieve. On the contrary, in the case of greed, you may lose more if you are greedy. Can't eat. In the end, there is nothing. Another is you have to practice this technique. It seems you are doing it now, but because of your purpose, the diversity leads to a lot of things. You learn also being diverse. In other words, everything would be better not to experience it all. I forgot what was said. I can forget everything. Don't be too greedy. You can't be too greedy. This one sets the overall tone. You little greedy devil. There must be gains in the future, according to your original plan. Going to learn some tactics, strategy is definitely beneficial. Set a goal you most want to achieve and then strive for it. Perhaps the goals you want to achieve are contradictory, or you can take care of one end and the other. The money invested will be diversified. One is a good and worthy goal. And then, according to the strategy you are currently implementing, it will definitely benefit. Let's look at the third group next. Oh, the third group is a bit melancholic, isn't it? Currently, it feels like they are stuck in a rut.
That's all for today's
Components,
video.
the ones I
See you
mentioned,
next time.
teammates, very negative, and very bad feeling. Oh my! Feels like everything's rough when you step outside. Even drinking water feels like it's stuck in your teeth. But you know, you shounly let yourself be stuck in these pains for too long. Facing the upcoming beauty. Don't be depressed. It's very clear. Your current wheel of fortune is a bit stuck. To be honest, there could be many factors because I can't fully pay attention to what might be some physical sickness or work.
Commander,
You don't know what he's thinking. All of these can cause your mood to be troubled. How can you not die every day? If you feel something is wrong, why don't you solve it instead of desperately trying to climb over the wall? I think it makes a lot of sense. Instead of torturing yourself, instead of blaming yourself, it's better to relax and torture others. Don't be too harsh on yourself. You're doing very well. Really good. Let's look at the fourth group next. Watch the fourth group here, then look at the fourth group again. The fourth kind is also very... Oh, group 4. You're really pushing yourself too hard now. Whether it's the current work or life needs you to testify constantly, and then you have a blank mind, or you just are. There are so many things to face, coming at you from all directions, making you exhausted, making your mind a mess, causing all sorts of unpleasant feelings.
The unmentionable.
Please select. What are you mumbling,
English.
Landy? Stronger the greater the responsibility. But currently, your capability is indeed strong, but not to the extent of overexerting yourself. Like Superman, like Wolverine, you have to treat yourself a little better. You can't push yourself too hard, whether you're a student or a worker. Or are you saying you're going to nurture your parents or something? Some pressures that you can't bear are best not to push yourself too hard. Sometimes you have to let yourself take a break. You must learn to give yourself a break. Learn to let go of some responsibilities. If this is not your responsibility, or if you're not the primary person responsible, don't blame yourself. You're driving yourself crazy. You're pushing yourself too hard. There is a saying, doing good is like the previous dust. But what you are doing now is, you're crazily doing good, crazily being the previous dust, taking all the responsibilities, all the possibilities towards the failed experience. Don't blame yourself like this. Never do this. You must learn. And it's about subject separation. Now, Hagler has said a very important sentence. Your issue is your issue. His issue is his issue. When something happens, you need to carefully discern which part is related to you and which part is related to others. Yes, I'm worried that you may not understand. Let me give you an example. Your time may be slightly longer. Let me say a bit more. For example, you are now don't want to work anymore, or say you want to pursue something more, so I have to resign from this job and bring a part of it. You might pay at home, and then this time you will feel like my wife and my child might not accept it. Their life might. But think about it, whether you want to do this, you don't have to quit this job and start another one you want to do more. It's your thing, and whether your wife is willing or not, happy or not, support you or not, it's her issue. You can't go and make decisions for him. Whether he is willing is his business, and whether he is unwilling is also his business. What's your matter? First, do you want to quit this job to do what you want to do? Second, as for your wife, her reaction to you doing the next thing is that you say bad things about her. What will you do next? Will you help her with some of the housework? You could do some part-time job to increase their family income. If he doesn't support you, then let him do it with you. Are you trying to persuade him with your determination, or are you saying that you are your plan? There is not scared you really. Do I have something feasible? That's you. The work you need to do. Not that he doesn't accept you and you stop doing it. He accepts you to pass. This is the responsibility between you two. It's like melting together. Like some parents and children, they also need object separation. This is a very special feature of our East Asian families. Everyone has worked hard to solve the goods. Let's look at the fifth group next. Group 5. You could say your current status is quite affluent, and you always believe that money can buy happiness and little sincerity and joy. But as a result, after spending a lot of money, what you get, one feels very surprised, but can't do anything about it. To be honest, you need a bit of patience for this thing. What I mean is that it takes a lot of time for a small tree to grow into a big tree. In this time, you can't just sit there and wait. You can go do some other things like paying money. They're not hint. Or if you don't say, in the current society, if it doesn't work, you see those internet companies say, before doing anything big, what are you doing for advertising? I think your strategy is no problem, but you have a little more patience and a little more patience, and you will definitely get a good result. Speaking of the present, it's just, you might start to wonder if you should finally stop shooting. I can't give you a very professional explanation for this matter, because I don't know what you are doing now. If you are completely using money to interact with the internet, then of course you think it's incredible now and stop it immediately. But if you are doing some startup work or entrepreneurship, in the beginning, some necessary costs have to be paid. You can ask this again. The spirit of your streets at night, or your colleagues, subordinates, partners. But you are also very professional, dealing with the consequences in your heart.
On your mind,
yes, no matter
just
what
keep it
the
to yourself.
hand in the
My
sense.
done wrong insists on launching
Your
forever.
decision not to spend money is good too, because you've been throwing out money. There will certainly be a sudden change and some resistance when you abruptly stop, right? So don't rush in the middle. Any measure is a fact that we all need to know that it takes time to make this decision and take this action. So don't go overboard. Super leave machina. Just wait a little bit more patiently.
dejected, just like
At
you.
present, it seems a bit idealistic. You like to say it a very, very high goal. When you do things and then you try to accomplish it, if you find you can't, then once there's a reason, there's something to say immediately, saying it's because the goal has been set too far away, like starting a company. I want to benchmark it against those industries in the dictionary, but it turns out that it's not possible. It can't be done. Making excuses, I heard too many misunderstandings. Can't finish. It's normal. You can't do this. This seems a bit indifferent. Although the goal is too far-reaching, there are pros and cons. But for you, my advice is that future goals can be broken down. For instance, look at this card. See the little rabbit? Set a very ambitious and whimsical goal all at once. He is using the water from the river to irrigate the earth. You think this is possible? This is something very unlikely, right? Just like some of your decisions, you just hope that as soon as you fall in love, you can go straight to the point of marriage. In the end, you feel that when I fall in love, I must be sure that he is the one who will finally marry me. But first of all, does marriage represent the end point? It doesn't represent the end point. Secondly, is the result always good? Reaching the end is one thing. Achieving a good end is another, right? You have to think about it often. Reflect on yourself often. Every path I have walked, adjust your goals based on these existing pieces of information. Don't set a grand goal. For example, what I am doing
Call
now.
my manager to
I
help
see
me
you've been
right
doing for
away.
5 or 6
I'll
hours
make
and
some
intending to
money
achieve
right
the
away.
goal, but it's really hard to achieve in the end.
The views expressed do
For
not
example,
represent the
if you
position
start
of
a
the station.
business and your monthly income is about 100,000 or so, aim a little higher. I want to earn 150,000 a month, and then you go do it. How to adjust the structure of your business
Learning
with some
Chinese
measures.
don't obstruct
Look at my
teaching.
talk. How to talk with partners. How to do business stuff. These higher roads. You set another such goal.
Thank you
A
very
small goal.
much for watching.
On the one hand, you will be more confident, and not feel so disappointed and lost. On the other hand, you will really benefit from it because you charge 150,000 from an income of 100,000. When you have the opportunity to aim for 100 million, you don't even know what to do, right? You even scared yourself off.
Well, that's
Good.
it for
The
now.
tarot reading for today's 36 card group is in a very fast state. I don't know if you all like this way of reading. That's all for today. Bye bye. Wishing you health and happiness.